we were talking about you on our review pod, JT, Weege, and myself, and we were all just like, hey, happy for you. Like, it hasn't been the easiest year for you. You've gone through a lot of shit, as we know. New bike, new team. You rode well at Millville too, and then now this weekend 5.5. How good did that feel? I mean, look, you've won a ton, so I know your standard's pretty high, but 5.5's got to feel pretty good, Austin.
Yeah, it definitely did, and almost what was even cooler was that at the end of the day, I actually felt like I felt like I had a little bit more in the tank as well. Like I actually left the race feeling like not like I gave it literally everything I had throughout the day. Like I felt like I was like, okay, yeah, that's like obviously good results, 5.5, but I felt like I could have charged a little bit. I felt like I could have had a little bit more intensity at the beginning of the motos and ran up there with those guys. So that was even the better thing was that even, yes, it was my best race of the year, but I still felt like I could have done things better. So, yeah, I mean, that's, I feel like my fitness is maybe finally starting to come around a little bit as well. Cause I feel like I've been the strongest fitness wise in the past 2 races here or Washougal and Millville. And I made a lot of late race passes, but I was also just happy at Washougal with obviously the lack of maybe speed at the beginning of the race, but what I lacked at the beginning of the race, I just consistently did my laps all race long, and I didn't fall off at the end like I was, because I had
you made passes late in the motos
kind of throughout both motos. Like Seth came up on me in the first moto, and he caught me from a little bit back, so he was faster, but then he just kind of fell back off pace. So like I kind of withheld some pressure from a few different guys, and then I also in the second moto I made passes. So I mean, it was just like I got passed by a few guys at the beginning of the race, but I was happy that I didn't like freak out and be like, oh, I got passed, I have to keep up with these guys. I'm going to ride over my head. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to keep up with these guys. I just was like, okay, that's okay. They're a little bit faster at this point in the race. I'll either catch them at the end or I'll try to learn when I can. And if they get away, they get away. I just was pretty content doing my laps, and fortunately at Washougal doing my speed, my laps was pretty good.
Yeah. It was nice to see. I talked to Jordan afterwards, and all you guys' starts have been great. The Triumph guys, you guys have figured it out. And Jordan was like, yeah, we made a small change. And I'm like, yeah, you should have went up one tooth on the sprocket earlier. But no, you guys have Scuba and everybody on the team. You guys found something on starts recently for sure, huh, Austin?
Yeah. That's I don't even know exactly what. Like I haven't changed a crazy. Well, I did do a sprocket change. Like we did do a sprocket change, but that was a couple races ago for me.
Yep.
But I believe we found a little. I think we did a little motor change as well that just made it pull, because what we were changing sprockets for was to just get that really just that strong, that no fall off going out of the gate. Because I mean, you got to figure coming off those grates, it pulls the bike down so much, and then at some of the races they rip it super deep out front, so it pulls the bike down and just pulls it out of the power just a little bit. And I feel like we were having a little bit of trouble with that, and so we played around with sprockets a little bit, but then I think we had a little bit of a motor change as well, and just the combination of that, and I worked on some things this week. I mean, my starts at Millville weren't bad either, but I just the combination of that, and I kind of worked on really like locking in on my starts a little bit more, like really trying to like just do everything that I could coming off those grates, like, pull the pants up, get everything tight, really turn my feet in and really squeeze with my legs to not, to try to keep form coming out of the gate. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of been a number of things. There wasn't like for me, there wasn't like a one, like, wow, that completely changed my starts. It was kind of a number of things, but over the past couple weeks, they have gotten better. So, that was the starts at Washougal for me were a big decision. It's crazy. Like, just cause, a couple of races before that, like I would have good rides, but it was coming from, 20th, 25th off the start to 12th. And like I would be riding good throughout the moto, but that goes unnoticed. And also, like, it's kind of even then it's kind of hard. Like, I was just talking to one of my my off the bike trainer about this today. I was like, the the late race charges, because that's what I saw some people talking about. Oh, your late race charge on the second moto to get Adams and DeFrancisco was sick. Like, stoked to see that. And I was like, yeah, like it's a lot more. You have a lot more of, you know, motivation to go and make those late race passes, even when you're tired, to try to put on a late race charge when it's for 7th to 5th. You know, let's say you get to the 25-minute mark of a moto. I'm back in, you know, 13th. 12th is, he's 5 seconds in front of me. We got about 5 laps left, probably. I'm about to set. I mean, I think I could catch him, but like I'm gonna have to really like push these last couple laps. It's like you know, like 13th to 12th. You know, it's like it kind of, it's hard to keep that, you know, that motivation, or that just like that want, that just like to give it everything you got to make up one position. That, I mean,
hey, Austin,
when
JT,
when you're battling for that, in my opinion at least, that's like it doesn't matter. You know, a 12th or a 13th, in my book, doesn't really matter.
Well,
you know?
Listen, Austin, in JT's career, that meant a lot for him. JT probably passed 80% of his riders from 17th to 12th late in the moto, right, JT?
Well, I just couldn't go fast, so I needed them to start going slower.
Right.
And so, like, once they started going slower, I felt faster.
Yeah. You know, but listen, I talked to you at Lakewood, Austin, and, you know, again, you've won so much. You've stood on the box, right? You've done so much on the 250 class. That was the first time I talked to you in a while, and I was surprised at your attitude, Austin, because you were pretty positive still. A guy like you, I think, I don't know what you did at Lakewood. I know you got 11th, I think, in one moto, but I was thinking like, oh, I wonder if he's going to be pissed or how he's doing, right? And you were, look, I'm learning. I'm getting ready on the bike. I haven't raced this much in a long time, and I'm trying to get better. Like, I left Lakewood being like, his attitude's pretty good, you know? So.
Yeah, I mean, that's, like, you got to be, I mean, not that I'm just, you know, I'm not just going to be, you know, completely a two-faced on camera or whatever. You got to, but I mean, to be honest, everybody has to be a little bit more positive in front of a camera and everything.
Okay, right.
Than you actually are.
Yep.
But I was just trying to like keep a positive attitude, and like that is kind of still at the base of my like thinking is just try to stay positive, try to just trust the build back process. Try to just still believe that we can get the bike better, that I can get better, that all this is, you know, can start, you know, we can start making progress and we can start building results, you know, whatever. I try to keep that at the base. There are some days when I'm just like, dude, this is like this is going nowhere with me, with the bike, with the, you know, with the whatever. Like, it's just today just sucks. You know, everybody has those days, but I just try to take the wins when I can. And there was a lot of races when I didn't have any wins. Like there was like High Point, you know, I had a bike problem in the second moto. In the first moto, I don't think I really rode all that great. Like there were a couple races so far this year that and in Super, there was definitely a few in Supercross that like they just were bad days. They were definitely off days in my riding, you know, off days in everything. And in those days, you're like, man, this sucks. And I don't even know, like, this is bad. Everything sucks on those days. But then there's days when, maybe you don't get a great start, but you put in a good ride, or maybe you get a good start, but then you go down, and you got to take the positives kind of where they can come. And then eventually, like this weekend in Washougal, I was able to finally put a good start together with no mistakes, no crashes, and put a good ride in for a good result. So when, like, it was just a 5.5 for fifth, but when that does all come together, I mean, it does make you pretty happy, and it gives you a little bit of like, okay, like I trusted it to get here. I kept at it, and we finally got a result that's in the right direction, and especially coming from Millville, which was also a step in the right direction, to back up Millville with an even better result at Washougal, and not to kind of like, I mean, 9-11 at Millville for 8th overall, like, you know, not that's
take it,
but I kind of lucked into an 8th overall because the other than like the top three, the moto scores were all over the place at Millville, but to come back from that and to back it up with a 5.5 for fifth, like that kind of was just like, okay, sick. Okay, Millville wasn't a fluke. We are making steps in the right direction. I did just need some starts. I just needed to start up there, and my riding, my riding is getting better, and the bike's getting better, and all this. So, yeah, I mean that was yeah.
Well, so Austin, when I think about your career, like you were, early on, you were winning a lot, and I remember going to 250 Supercross races that East Coast year and be like, well, Forkner's going to win. I don't know what else is going to happen, but Forkner's going to win today. So you've been in that mindset, and it's a long road to get back to there. But this Supercross season for you wasn't very good. Like we watched it, you're having a hard time finding, what you used to do and the guy you used to be. When you contrast that, earlier, February of this year, March of this year, to the last 2 weekends, like is it like a monumental shift in physical and mental, or does it kind of feel like you're doing the same thing and it just things are happening more easily?
Yeah, like that's what it hasn't been like a monumental shift. It's just like that's kind of what I was saying about the whole start thing. Like nothing has been like a crazy huge thing. It's just, like honestly, one of the first things that I noticed at Millville was I was throwing whips on press day. Oh, and that was fun. Yeah. And a bunch of people hit me up after that and were like, yo, you still got it. Like you still got the whips. You still got that looks like old you, getting nasty on some and I was like, okay, sick. And then I had a good result there. And I was but it wasn't it hasn't been like a one thing. It's just been kind of a little things here and there, little just getting the flow back, having a little bit of fun. Okay, got a good start this, just little things like that. It hasn't been like a huge thing. That's why I can't even put, a pin exactly to what has changed or what has improved. I just think things have gotten, and that's why it's almost a little bit sometimes it's refreshing that you can't exactly put a pin to exactly what has changed, because then it just goes back to a lot of people say, just keep at it, just keep putting in your laps, keep doing your train. Things are going to change eventually. Things will get, but just stick with it. Trust the process, like everybody says. And I feel like everybody kind of makes fun with that saying in this sport, because you just hear it all the time. But to be honest, for me, as far as this certain, I guess, trusting the process kind of has been the deal, because we haven't really changed a whole, it hasn't been one monumental change over the past couple of weeks. It's been a few little things and just kind of sticking with it, and it just kind of came together at Washougal, a little bit at Millville, but also at Washougal too. So yeah, it hasn't been really one specific thing. It's just I just feel like I kind of typically ride good at Washougal, and I feel like one of the things that I like about Washougal is that I was talking to somebody about this today too, or maybe it was yesterday, but I feel like a lot of the outdoor tracks these days, I feel like, are so rutted that you can't really get creative with your line.
Right.
You can't really go outside in. You can't really square somebody up. You can't really that is kind of taken away with how rutted the outdoor tracks are nowadays. And that's what I feel like. That's kind of why I typically ride good at Washougal, because I don't necessarily love the track. It's kind of hard pack. It's slick. It can reach up and get you really quick, especially with the shadows. But I feel like because you can move around on that track and get creative with lines, outside in, go around some of the inside rollers, but then cut back right after them and make some stuff like that work, and be just creative with your line selection. I feel like that's something that benefits me at that track. So to be honest, there's some cases where I wish that they would do that a little bit more. Just watching some of the throwback races that they'll post of Ricky and James racing at old races or whatever. The old races, they didn't used to be as rutted as they are now, and that made racing in a way a little bit more exciting, because it opened up a bunch of line selections and a bunch of outside in, crossing guys up, doing all this other stuff where, let's be honest, at a track like High Point, a track like Unadilla, the passes aren't really you're not really running somebody wide, square. It's kind of just they took a line and you took a faster line and right. You just go around it. I mean, that's truthfully, that's kind of what it is. It's kind of boring passes racing in a way. It's you just take a better line and you just go right around them. That's a lot of the racing. And I feel like High Point is one of the few tracks in the calendar that is a little bit different in that way, and I feel like that's something that benefits certain guys, and I feel like I'm one of those guys that I kind of get creative with lines and I'm able to open some stuff up and ride it a little bit different, and I feel like for me anyway, maybe that's just kind of what benefits me at Washougal.